We're joining men suiting up, doing battle against a resilient and fast-moving enemy. Fire. It's one of the most dangerous jobs in one of the most dangerous cities in the country. My Nightline co-anchor Dan Harris met a hardy team of firefighters risking their lives to save a ravaged neighborhood. But you may be surprised by what draws them to the flames.
Tuesday night, we received a call for a vacant structure on fire.
4-story apartment building, heavy fire on first and second floor.
It's the start of something called Devil's Week in Highland Park, Michigan, a tiny dot of a city smack in the middle of Detroit. Devil's Week, which happens around Halloween every year, regularly features widespread violence and arson, which is why the 7 firefighters on duty tonight are focused and tense, but not surprised when they get a call about an apartment building on fire.
You have a lot of thoughts. What are we going to? Is it going to be a house? Is it going to be 2 houses? Are there people inside? I was pretty pumped up. I'm always excited to get a fire. We pull up to a fully involved house fire.
When they show up, instead of finding an apartment building, they find a blazing house fire.
And everybody was a little confused.
You gotta knock that down.
Confused, but they know they have to put it out, and it's a race against time.
All right, we got a hydrant back about 3 lengths.
So we jumped out the truck and went to work on this house.
If you don't get in there and stop the one house, now you can have 2 houses. Well, if you couldn't put out 1 house, now you got to put out 2. It would run down the street.
This is the inside story of one night in what may very well be the busiest firehouse in the country, and of the men who do one of the most dangerous jobs on earth in one of the most dangerous cities in America.
Anybody who says that they're not scared when they get tested in a real fire is lying, or they just don't go into real fires. That's what the whole test of courage is. It's not being scared. It's overcoming that fear and doing your job anyway.
Some fires you can't see a single thing. So you're in there, you're looking for the glow of the fire, you're searching for possible victims. You're trying to keep a sense of direction so you know the way out if you need to get out. The combination of the adrenaline rush that you get from that, combined with a certain amount of fear. I don't know how to explain to somebody where you're frantically searching for somebody, but really hoping that you don't find somebody.
At this point, even though they know the house is unoccupied, they refuse to quit. Nate, the commander on duty tonight, tells his team to temporarily stand down while they plan their next strike.
We want everybody out.
We made ourselves a first initial attack, which they encountered heavy fire load. So we ended up pulling back for a minute, try to size up the scene again.
I ended up pulling the guys out of the house for a while because they weren't getting to the 2nd floor, and I was afraid of roof collapse.
And that's when they get an unpleasant surprise.
Hey, there's a 2nd fire. I know. Okay.
It was 1 block over. We had another 4-story apartment going too.
It turns out that the guys had just happened upon this fire on their way to the real crisis. A full-on inferno in this apartment building just a block away.
It's extremely common for somebody, they set one, and when they're running away, they set another one.
Be careful, that stuff's been burning for a while.
They now have 7 men to fight 2 fires.
Watch it.
While this building is also unoccupied, many of the buildings around it, like this one, have people in them.
My granddaughter called me. It was on fire when she got home. And my daughter was away. But I've just begged the city mayor after mayor to tear this building down.
In a moment, we'll show you what happens next here. But first, you might reasonably ask yourself, why would anyone do this job, risking life and limb to put out fires in abandoned buildings? We got a surprising answer when, over the course of several weeks, Nightline essentially moved into the firehouse in this city decimated by the collapse of the auto industry and plagued by arson.
The guys that dropped the bullet talking about they're in this service to save people and all that la-la crap, and just admit that it's for the adrenaline.
60% adrenaline, 20% fear.
Even their boss, the chief, admits it.
I love my guys. They do a phenomenal job. But they are adrenaline junkies to a certain degree.
The adrenaline junkies of Highland Park became nationally known and nationally controversial as a result of a viral video posted by one of their own.
I'm firefighter Scott Ziegler.
Scott Ziegler started wearing a camera on his helmet to show his friends and family what his job is really like.
Go to the hydrant.
The result was this extraordinary glimpse inside the world of a firefighter.
Everybody knows, what firefighters do, but no one ever really gets to see what we do, other than maybe a news clip here and there. No one ever really gets to see the inside.
In 2012, a clip he posted got more than 1 million hits. It also provoked criticism from other firefighters around America who take issue with the fact that here in Highland Park they have a highly unusual and highly risky policy of putting their lives on the line to extinguish fires in vacant buildings. Buildings most other departments would simply let burn to the ground.
Hey, fire department! You need to get out!
The men here point out that many abandoned homes in Highland Park are used by squatters, including sometimes entire families.
Anyone who claims they know a house is vacant or not is an idiot. You can't tell me if someone's in there or not until you go in there.
So whoever set the fire could still be in there. And it's still our job. We took the oath, we swore that we would protect and serve.
The part-timers have benefits. You make $10 an hour, and that's it.
Part-time is $10 an hour, and you're risking your life.
Yes.
On top of all the risk these men face, and on top of the controversy, consider this. They do this work not only for low pay, but also in many cases with no health benefits. You don't have health benefits here?
Some of us do, some of us do not. A lot of us been hurt before. Like you said, when it comes to the wives, yeah, I'm pretty sure deep down inside they do sleep kind of restless at night, wondering we're gonna be all right and everything.
I've been hurt before. Everyone's been hurt here.
Yeah, I've been hurt. Yeah.
Everyone's hurt. Everyone's been hurt here. So.
Yeah, but you think most risky jobs, almost all risky jobs that I'm aware of, if you get hurt on them, you know that the employer has your back, like in the U.S. military, for example. If you get hurt, do you get health coverage then?
No.
No.
Wait a minute.
I get health coverage for my wife.
Are you part-time?
Yeah. So I work a full-time schedule.
I'm not trying to pass judgment. Well, I am passing judgment. That's crazy.
It is.
In the end, for these men, it all comes back to the fact that they love this work.
It's remarkable how winded you get. I will say it's very fun to break things.
Yes, it is.
Being a firefighter today in Highland Park is like being a painter in Renaissance Italy. They even have fans known as fire buffs who come out and document their work. Which brings us back to those fires during Devil's Week. With 2 blazes and only 7 men, they decide to call in help from neighboring Detroit.
Sometimes you just gotta say you need help. But even with the reinforcements, this fight is about to get harder.
Interior crew to Stu Jackson. Can we get some water up here?
Because here in Highland Park, firefighters cannot always count on the most basic and critical weapon.
The line I had in my hand had no water coming out of it. I was very frustrated, as anybody would be. You had people, citizens watching, as I'm standing there with a hose line, and they don't understand why am I not putting water on that woman's house, because it was an occupied house.
Water pressure finally gets restored, and after several hours of sweat and smoke, they managed to stop both fires.
We were there till 2 in the morning. That's a typical day in the HV.
A lot of other cities don't burn like that, but I mean, we burn, so that's just another walk in the park, as we call it.
They may have one of the most dangerous jobs in one of the most dangerous cities, but these men who are addicted to fire love every minute of it.
Fought a ripping house fire. Had a great stop.
For Nightline, this is Dan Harris in Highland Park, Michigan.